ज्ञानानन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश। नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगे राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So welcome to the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Southern Division. We have been discussing the qualities of Krishna. In the last class, that is yesterday's class, we discussed few of the qualities beginning from the 50th quality. And today we will continue the discussion. I think we have discussed up till 55 qualities. So, or 57 or 58, let me recollect. Yes, 57. So we will continue our discussion from there where we left yesterday. Yesterday we covered the qualities of, we basically covered the point that within the Vishaya, the object of Rati Krishna, there are these 64 qualities, and Rupa Goswami is discussing the definition of each of the quality, and then he's giving a scriptural quotation. So we discussed 55, Sarva Siddhi Nisevita, how all the siddhis reside in him. And then we discussed Atha Avichantasya Mahashakti, inconceivable potency. And there are three types: creation, bewilderment of Brahma, Rudradi, and then Bhakti Prarabdha Vidvamsa. Three in that, Avichinta Shakti. And then for each of them, Rupa Goswami gives a scriptural quotation. And then we saw the next quality, that is Koti Brahmanda Vigraha, in whose form contain unlimited universes. That is Krishna. Because in his expansion of the expansion of the expansion called Mahavishnu, unlimited universe manifest. And such personality out of his causeless mercy, when he comes, we consider him as an ordinary human being. Avjananti Mahambuddha. Yesterday we discussed that also. And then after this, Rupa Goswami, uh, quoting a scriptural quotation for this, Kwaham tamo mahad aham kha charagni varbhu, Brahmaji speaking, who am I? Small creature, just seven spans of my own hand, enclosed in this pot of universe made of ignorance, darkness, with Mahatadi beam. And what is your glory? Te Mahitam. Unlimited universe pass through the pores of your body, just like particles of dust pass through the openings of the screen window. So after quoting this, then he gives another quotation, Yathava, another example. I'll just read the translation. How is it possible for anyone to glorify you? Bhavata kah stuto tasya shakta, whom Brahma saw in Vrindavan, vidhatra drishtim yasyatra Vrindavanam. How is it possible to glorify you, whom Brahma saw in Vrindavan? In one corner of that Vrindavan is situated a million universes. Tadrik Brahmanda Lakshayuta Parichaya Bhag Ek Kaksham. In Ek Kaksha, that is one corner, there are, in one corner of Vrindavan, there are millions of universes. And what are those universes? Each made of earth, measuring 5 million yojanas in diameter. Tatver Brahmandam Akharva Shiti Kha Chitam Idam. Panchashat Kotya Yojanam. 500 million yojanas in diameter, each filled with lower hellish planets, Yacha Patalam Purnam, and the upper heavenly planets, Adyam Surakula. Surakula means the residence of the heavenly denizens, and all material emanates, Bhuvanesha Chantikam. So how is it possible for anyone to glorify you? Because in one corner of Vrindavan are unlimited universes, and each of these universes is measuring 500 million yojanas and is filled with all these planetary systems. The Lord's size is shown by showing the size of the Vrindavan. That's it. Nothing else. One line commentary, but Prabhupada elaborates. If one takes account only of one universe, he will find so many combinations of wonderful things within, because there are innumerable planets, innumerable residences, and places of demigods. That's what this verse is also saying, that there are heavenly planets, there are these hellish planets, all these things. So Prabhupada is elaborating on that. The diameter of the universe is 4 billion miles, and it is infested with many unfathomable regions known as patalas, or the lower planetary systems. Although Krishna is the origin of all this, he can always be seen in Vrindavan exhibiting his inconceivable potencies. So Krishna is ultimately origin of all these universes, but he is seen in Vrindavan, just like a small cowherd boy. So who can adequately worship such an all-powerful Lord possessed of such inconceivable energy? So that's a rhetoric question which Prabhupada is putting. And this was also the same question put, uh, how is it possible for anyone to glorify you? Bhavata kam shakya. That's the point. Okay, 58th quality. Avataravali Bijam. Avali means row, just like Deepavali. Deepa means lamps. Avali means a row of lamps. So that's what called as Deepavali. Ratnavali. Ratna means ratnas, a row of ratnas, gems. So similarly, the unlimited avatars, all source, Bijam. Krishna is a Bij. Krishna is not avatar, but he is avatari, who is the source of all avatars. Avataravali Bijam Avatari Nigadyate is Avatari. Krishna is not Avatar, he is Avatari. Avatari means who is the source of all other avatars. He is the source of all the avatars, is called Avatari Nigadyate, the seed of all of the avatars. Avataravali Bijams. Purport, Jiva Goswami. The word avatari means the aggregate of all avatars. He who possesses all the avatars or in whom all the avatars reside. This is because of his being complete compared to all the avatars. He is complete, Purna. This is shown with the following statement. Ete chamsa kala pumsa krishnastu bhagavan swayam indrari vakulam lokam mridayante yuge yuge. All the list of incarnations of Godhead submitted here with Ete. This is 1 to 20, 1 3 28, very famous verse. That means the previous verses, Sudha Goswami had been giving the list of incarnations. So, all this list are either plenary portions or part of the plenary portion. Cha Amsha Kala. Either they are Amsha or Kala. The Amsha of the Amsha is called as Kala of the Supreme Godhead Pumsa. But Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Krishna's to Bhagwan Swayam. Then Rupa Goswami gives a scriptural quotation from Gita Govind, Yatha Shri Gita Govind. I'll read the translation. I offer my respects to Krishna, Krishnaya Tubhyam Nama, who takes 10 forms, Dashakriti Krite, who rescues the Vedas as Matsya, Vedan Uddharate, supports the worlds as Kurma, Jaganti Vihate, lifts the earth from the low regions as Varaha, Bhugolam Udbibharte, pierces Hiranyaksha as Narsimha, Daitam Dharayate, tricks Bali as Vamana, Balim Chalayate, destroys the warriors as Pashram, Shatram Shayam Kurvante, conquers Ravana as Ram, Pulastasyam Jayate, because Ravana was the son of coming in the lineage of Pulastya Rishi. Pulls his plow as Balram, Halam Kalayate, distributes mercy as Buddha, Karunam Atanvate, and kills the rascals as Kalki, Mlechayan Murchetaye. So I think this has a particular meter. Since I don't know the meter, I just read the translation. Okay, let's see Jiva Goswami's commentary on this. The author quotes Geet Govind in order to show how a great personality has summarized the statements of Bhagavatam, the highest scripture and the highest proof. That's it. One line. Prabhupada, in his Nectar of Devotion, the original source of all incarnation. Jaydev Goswami in his Gita Govinda is sung as follows. The Lord has saved the Vedas in the form of as a fish. He has borne the whole universe on his back in the form of tortoise. He has picked up this earthly planet from the water in the form of boar. He has killed Hiranyakashipu in the form of Narsimha. He has cheated Maharaj Bali in the form of Vaman. He has annihilated all the dynasties of the Kshatriyas in the form of Parashuram. He has killed all the demons in the form of Lord Ram. He has accepted the great plow in the form of Balram. He has annihilated all the atheistic persons in the form of Kalki. Of course, Buddha should have. He has saved all the poor animals in the form of Lord Buddha. These are some of the descriptions of the incarnations emanating from Krishna and from the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is understood that innumerable incarnations are always coming out of the body of Krishna, just like waves in the ocean. So that's a small list. Avatara hi asankhyayi. Asankhyayi means numberless. That's the previous verse to 1:3:28. No one can even count how many waves there are, and similarly, no one can count how many incarnations are coming from the Lord's body. Okay, so that is 58th. This is the 59th. This is very, very beautiful quality of Krishna, which is Hathari Gatadayaka. Hathari means one who, Krishna kills. Gatadayaka. He gives the highest destination in the form of liberation. And sometimes he gives specific in the form of prema. And we will see that. Mukti data hatari nam hatari gatadayaka. He who gives liberation to those who kill, to those he kills, Mukti data hatari nam, is called giver of the goal of those he kills. Hatari gatadayaka. Okay, now there is some explanation given by Jiva Goswami, and this is very important for us to understand. Liberation mentioned in this definition is representative only and should also be understood to include giving bhakti to persons such as Putana as well, such as Putana well. So here, liberation uh, is a general representation, but sometimes Krishna, in some cases, remember, not in all cases, gives also bhakti. And the example is of Putana. This has been indicated with Ami Krishne Kiladbuta. These qualities become more astounding in Krishna. This is 2:140 of the Bhagavatam. Vishnacharya Thakur. Qualities such as giving liberation to the enemy actually belong only to Krishna, since the ordinary forms of Narayan possess ordinary qualities of awarding a goal to the enemy. So the forms of Narayana have ordinary qualities. Ordinary means we should not understand in our sense ordinary, but it is extraordinary. uh, uh, there is, the awarding of the goal to the enemy. What is that? Here it is mentioned in the note. In the commentary on verse 40, it is explained that Narayana gives swarg to the enemy. He is the source of the Purusha avatars, but he is not the avatari. So also in the Lagu Bhagavatamrit, uh, Rupa Goswami himself analyzes. Lagu Bhagavatamrit is very interesting book, and it is just like Vyasa has given the Vedanta Sutra, and the natural explanation of the Vedanta Sutra, the natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra is the Srimad Bhagavatam. Similarly, the Lagu Bhagavatamrit is the Vedanta Sutra of the Bhagavatam. Extracted from the Bhagavatam, the Vedanta Sutra, in the form of a sutra, is the Lagu Bhagavatamrit. And in fact, whatever contradictions are there in the Bhagavatam which don't get resolved to us, Rupa Goswami resolves them in the Lagu Bhagavatamrit. Just like all the contradictions in the Upanishads are reconciled in the Vedanta Sutra, similarly, the contradictions in the Bhagavatam are reconciled in the Lagu Bhagavatamrit. So, it has two parts. The first part speaks about all the avatars, starting from the Shaktavesh avatars, like Purgun avatars, Purusha avatars, like that. It goes on till the forms of Vara, Narsimha, Matsya. But especially these three forms, Narsimha, Rama, and Krishna, they are very special. But even among these three, even Narsimha and Lord Ram, when they kill, uh, they cannot give liberation. Because when Lord Ram killed Ravana, in the next life he became more opulent and he came back. Only when Krishna he killed, he was finally liberated. Shishupal and Dantavakra. They came as Shishupal and Dantavakra. So in earlier life, they were Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh. Hiranyaksha was killed by Vara, Hiranyakashipu was killed by Narsimhadev. And after being killed, um, he next came as Ravana, and Ravana became more opulent, you can see. He got more power. So they cannot give this highest form of liberation, and to a higher degree in special cases, that is prema. Only Krishna can give. That's why Krishna is avatari. That's the point. Okay, now he gives a scriptural quotation for this. Yatha parabhavam penila त्रातां च बन्धं च भीतिं च मृत्युं च कृत्वा पवर्ग दातापि शिखण्डमौले तं शात्रवानं वानाम् अपवर्गाद्योऽसि. So I don't know again the meter for this. Parabhavam Fenila Vaktranam cha Bandham cha Vitam cha Mrityam cha Kritva Pavargadata Pishkandamaule Vam Satravanam Apavargadosi. Yeah, this is the meter, I think. Okay. Oh, topmost jewel, Shikanda Maule. Mauli again is topmost. Though you give the pavargas, pavarga datapi to defeat, pa, prabhavam, foaming mouth, pa, penila, vaktaram cha, bondage, ba is bondage, bandham cha, bha, fear, bhitam cha, and death, ma, to your enemies, mrityam cha kritva. You give them the opposite, apavarga or liberation as well. Tvam shatravanam apavargado si. So actually you give pavarga, but you give the opposite to your enemies who are killed. So here this verse proves that Krishna gives liberation. And as I mentioned, in special cases, he gives also bhakti and prema, as in the case of Putana. Yathava, another example. O Murari, Murare, it is truly astonishing, Chitram, that the demons, Suravairi, Pakshas, who wage war with you with all their energy, Tvaya Samantat, Anubhadya Yuddha, not being destroyed, Amitra Vrindanya, Avibhidya Bhedam, are transformed by you into friends and attain liberation. Mitrasya Kurvan Amritam Prayati. So, Yathava, I don't know again the scriptural quotation from where it is coming. It might be also from Bhagavatam. As I mentioned, Yatha means mostly sometimes it is referring to Bhagavatam. Okay, so this verse also proves that it is astonishing that demons who wage war against, you transform them into friends and they attain liberation. Okay, now Mitram. Mitram can also mean the sun. So here it's very interesting. You might be wondering that Mitram means, Mitra, but Mitra means sun here. Mitra can also mean sun. Therefore, the meaning can also be you do not destroy these enemies. They surpass the sun planet and attain liberation. So Mitram here means Mitram cha. What was the verse? Mitram cha Amritam. Yes. Mitrasya Kurvan Amrita. So Mitra here means they surpass the Mitra because the another name of sun planet is Mitra. There are many names, Ravi, Surya, like that, Bhanu. So Mitra means they surpass the sun planet and attain liberation. So that is what here it means. Okay, Prabhupada on this. Krishna gives salvation to the enemies that he kills. Another name of salvation is Apavarga. Apavarga is opposite of Pavarga, the various miserable conditions of material existence. The word Pavarga indicates a combination of 5 Sanskrit letters, Pa, Pa, Ba, Bha, and Ma. These letters are the first letters of the words of 5 different conditions and described above, below. The first letter Pa comes from the word Parabhava, which means defeat. Actually, we have to conquer birth. Bhava means to come, become again and again, become birth, become disease, become old age, become death, become again Bhava. Para means you have to transcend. Actually, we have to conquer birth, death, disease, and old age. And because there is no possibility of overcoming all these miserable conditions, due to the illusion of Maya, we are simply meeting with Parabhava or defeat. The next letter, Fa is taken from the word feign. Fena is a form which is formed in the mouth when one is very tired, as is commonly observed with horses. The letter B comes from the word band, bondage. Bha is taken from the word bhiti, fearfulness. Ma is taken from the word briti, or death. So material existence means you get defeated with respect to birth, death, old age, disease. There is pain, there is bondage, there is fearfulness, and then there is death. So the word pavarga signifies our struggle for existence and our meeting with defeat, exhaustion, bondage, fearfulness, and at last, death. Apavarga means that which can nullify all these material conditions. Krishna is said to be the giver of Apavarga, the path of liberation. Okay, Prabhupada further. For the impersonalist and the enemies of Krishna, liberation means merging into the Supreme. The demons and the impersonalists do not care for Krishna, but Krishna is so kind that he gives this liberation even to his enemies and to the impersonalist. There is the following statement in this condition. O Murari, Krishna, how wonderful is that although the demons who are always envious of the demigods have failed to penetrate your military phalanx, they have penetrated the region of Mitra, the sun globe. So again, the same quotation which was there in the verse. The word Mitra is used metamorphically. Mitra means the sun globe, and Mitra also means friend. The demons who opposed Krishna as enemies, wanted to penetrate his military phalanx, but instead of doing this, they died in battle. And the result was that they penetrated the planet of Mitra, or the sun planet, and they attained liberation. In other words, they entered into Brahman effulgence. The example of the sun planet is given here because the sun is ever illuminating like the spiritual sky, where there are innumerable illuminating Vaikuntha planets. The enemies of Krishna were killed, and instead of penetrating Krishna's phalanx, they entered into the friendly atmosphere of the spiritual effulgence. They were trying to penetrate into Krishna's uh, military phalanx, viewed Rachana, but instead of penetrating, they died there, and they penetrated into these coverings of the universe and entered the Brahman effulgence. What a glory! This is how merciful is Krishna. That is the mercy of Krishna, and therefore he is known as the deliverer of his enemies also. Okay, this is the last quality, and then the next four qualities are very special in Krishna. Let us take this last one, and then I will ask if you have any questions. Atma Rama Gunakarshi. Atma Rama Gunakarshitya etad Vyakhartam evahi. He who attracts the Atmaram Gunakarshatya, is self-explanatory. Etad Vyakartam evahi. There is no need to explain this. Yatha. Purna Paramhamsam Madhavalila Mahaushadher Grita Kritva Bata Sarangam Vyadita Katam Sarase Trishatam. O Madhav, though I am a pure Paramhamsa without desires, Purna Paramhamsam Mam, by smelling the fragrance of the great herbs of your pastimes, Leela Maha Aushadir Gratha, Grahan, from the nose. I have been transformed into a devotee. Kritva Bata Sarangam Veditha Katham. And I'm thirsty for the rasa of bhakti. Sa rase trishitam. Trishna. I have developed a trishna. I have developed a thirst for that ras, bhakti ras. Which pastime is being narrated here in this verse? Anyone has any idea? Raise your hands. Which pastime is being narrated here? Yes, Birendra Yadav Prabhuji.
Arikstamro, who it is Chatus Kumaras?
Yes, it is the Chatush Kumaras. The word Sarangam means the Chataka bird and the devotee who sings sweet songs. Saram Gayate. The usage is found in the following verse. 1:11:27. Shriyo nivaso yashyaro yasyora panpatram mukha drisham bhavo lokapalanam saranganam padambujam. The Lord's chest is the abode of the goddess of fortune. Shriyo nivasa yasyoro. The moon-like face is drinking vessel for the eyes. Pana patram mukam drisham, which hanker after all that is beautiful. His arms are the resting places for the administrative demigods. Bahava Lokapalanam, and his lotus feet are the refuge for pure devotees who never talk or sing of any subject except his lordship. Saranganam Padambujam. So here the word Sarangam means they are always talking and singing the Lord's glories. Machitta Matgata Prana. Sarase can be divided into Sa, modifying Maha Aushadhi, and Rase, or can be kept as one word, Sarase, meaning lotus. Thus, the second meaning of the verse is smelling the great powerful herbs of your pastimes has turned me, a Paramhamsa great swan, into a Chataka bird and has made me desirous of the lotus. How astonishing this is. Katam. This astonishment becomes doubled because there are two meanings caused by pun in this verse. And now the last line caused by the pun in this verse. Pun means the one who makes the joke, and brings out that. The attractor of the liberated souls, Prabhupada. There are many examples of how Krishna attracted even great liberated souls like Sukadeva Goswami and the Kumaras. So Prabhupada is clarifying this. In this connection, the following statement is given by the Kumaras. So this is the statement of the Kumaras as well. How wonderful it is that although we are completely liberated, free from the desire and situated in the stage of Paramahamsa, we are still aspiring to taste the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So those who are completely desireless develop a desire to relish sarase, spiritual rasa. So to become desireless, free from all material desires is the liberated stage. And real revelation begins when devotional service to desire, bhakti, or to desire to serve the Lord, taste the bhakti ras. So the liberated souls are having no material impressions, and neither they are having any spiritual impressions. But when they come in touch with the bhakti, then they develop the spiritual vasanas. So here the four Kumaras develop that spiritual vasana for desiring to taste the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Okay, so that completes the 60 qualities definition with scriptural quotations. Now we will go into the last four qualities, which are, very special only in Krishna. But before that, any questions, any clarifications you have? Up till now, what we have discussed. Yes, Chakra Rama Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Bhai, Dhamma Pranam.
Yes.
I would like to again hear Parvaga. Parvaga and Parvaga, again, I want to hear from you the meaning.
Pavarga and Apavarga. Pavarga means pa, pa, ba, ba, ma. Pa is being defeated again and again by birth, death, old age, and pa means faint, being exhausted, foam comes. Ba means, ba is what? I also don't recollect. Yeah, ba is bandhan, bondage, and bha is bhiti, bhiti, ba, bha, the second one. And ma is mrityu. So there are the five things. pa, pha, bha, bha, ma. Pha, the first pha is parabhava, means defeat. We are defeated by birth, death, old age, and disease. And pha is I'll share the screen so that yeah, yeah. Pa is parabhava, means defeat. We are again repeatedly defeated by birth, death, old age, and disease. And pha is fena, and then ba is bandha, bha is bhithi, and ma is mrityu. Defeat, exhaustion, bondage, fearfulness, and death. That is Pavarga. And one who eliminates this and gives Apavarga liberation is Krishna. That is what it means.
Excellent, Prabhuji. Excellent. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Any other questions anyone has? Okay, then we'll go now to the last part. That is the last four qualities. I don't know how long is that discussion. Let me see. Yes, Birendra Yadav Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, this for 60th quality, Atma Ram Gadakarsi, we can quote this Atma Ramaschamunyo in this also?
Yes. We can quote Atma Ramashamuni. There's no
Right.
doubt.
Right.
Sukdev Goswami and four Kumaras, Prabhupada said. So the four Kumara quotation is by Rupa Goswami. And Sukdev Goswami, we can quote that. Yeah, so looks like we'll not be able to complete the entire 64, but let us start. And then the next subject from tomorrow will be more interesting. This is also very interesting, but we'll go now into the second aspect. The Ashraya Alamban is over, then the Vishaya Alamban will begin. Okay. Atha sadharana guna chatushte Leela Madhuryam Yatha Brahad Vamani Shanti Yadyapi me Prajya Leela Stasta Manohara Nahi Jane Smrite Rase Mano me Kridasham Bhave. Now the four extraordinary qualities of Krishna are illustrated. Atha Asadharana Atha Sadharana Guna Chatuste, the sweetness of Krishna's pastime. Leela Madhuryam, from the Brahad Vaman Puran. Though all of my pastimes are very attractive and profound, Shanti Yadapi me Prajya Leela Sta Manohara. When I remember the last Leela, Nahi Jane Smrite Rase, I cannot explain what happens to my mind. Mano me Kidrisham Bhavet. So, who is speaking this? Let us see. Let us find out. Two examples are given for showing the supreme position of Krishna's pastimes to point out the uniqueness of his pastimes. His pastimes are actually depicted to perfection in the Bhagavatam, and thus they are not quoted here. So the pastimes of Ras Leela are there in the Bhagavatam, but Rup Goswami has not quoted them. And Jeev Goswami knows the heart of Rup Goswami, and that's why in his purport he is mentioning that these pastimes of Ras Leela are there in the Rasa Panchadhyay, but they are not quoted by Rupa Goswami. The word prajya in the present verse quoted means profound. Parikshit has made two statements in this regard. So there are Yena avatarena Bhagavan Haririshvara Karoti Karna Ramyani Manogyani Chana Prabhu. My Lord Sukadeva Goswami, Na Prabhu, all the various activities exhibited by the incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Yena avatarena Bhagavan Hari Ishvara, are certainly pleasing to ear and to the mind. Karoti Karna Ramyanti Mano Gyani Cha. So this is he saying in 10.7.1. And then he says, simply by one's hearing of these activities, yan shrunvanto, the dirty things in one's mind immediately vanish. Apaitya. Generally, we are reluctant to hear about the activities of the Lord. Aratrir. But Krishna's childhood activities are so attractive that they are automatically pleasing to the mind and ears. Sattvam cha. Thus, one's attachment for hearing about material things, which is the root cause of material existence, with Krishna, vanquishes, sudyante, and one gradually develops achirena pumsa, devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Bhaktir haro. Attachment for him and friendship with devotees. Tat purushe cha sakyam. Who give us the contribution of Krishna consciousness. If you think it fit, manya sachet, kindly speak about those activities of the Lord. Tad eva haram vada. So there are many activities of the pastimes of Bhagwan, but Krishna's pastimes, this is the result. So the superiority of Krishna's pastimes is being mentioned by Parikshit Maharaj in 10.7.2 and 10.7.1, which is quoted in Jeev Goswami's commentary to this specific verse, Brihad Vaman Puran verse. Okay. Athava. Parispuran Spurattyato Sundaram Charitram Atra Lakshmi Pates Tatha Bhuvanam Nandinastad Avatara Vrindasya Cha Harerapi Chamatkrite Prakara Vardhana Kintume Bibharti Ridi Vismayam Kam Api Rasa Leela Rasa. Let the exquisite pastimes of Narayan, Sundaram Charitram Atar Lakshmi Pates, and the avatars, Tad Avatara Vrindasya, cause bliss to the world. Tata Bhuvana Nandinas. Nandi means Nand, Anand. Appear in this universe. Paris Purato. But Kintu, the taste of the Ras Leela Ras, which causes astonishment even in Hari. Hari Abhi Chamatkrite Prakara Vardhana is filling my heart. May Bibharti Ridi with inconceivable astonishment. Vismayam Kam Api. So there are unlimited pastimes of the Lord's avatars, but what Krishna performs pastimes, and especially not his childhood pastimes also, but the pastimes of Rasila, they are the most inconceivable and they give the highest bliss to the heart. Okay, performer of wonderful activities. In the Brihad Vamana Puran, the Lord says, although I have many fascinating pastimes, whenever I think of the Rasila, which I perform with the Kotis, I become eager to have it again. So in the Brihad Vamana Puran, it is Krishna himself speaking this verse. That is what we need to know. One devotee said, I know about Narayan, the husband of goddess of fortune, and I also know about the many other incarnations of Lord. Certainly, all the pastimes of such incarnations are exciting to my mind, but still the pastimes of the Rasila performed by Lord Krishna himself are wonderfully increasing my transcendental pleasure. So now the second quotation is spoken by the devotee. The first quotation from the Brihad Vaman Puran is spoken by Krishna himself. Okay. Any questions on this first scriptural extraordinary quality? Krishna performs Leela Madhurya. Any questions you have about it? There are two scriptural quotations. One is a Brihad Vaman Puran and Yatha. I guess it is from the Bhagavatam. Any questions you have about this? Questions? Any clarifications? Okay. So then we'll go to the 62nd. Premna Priya Adhikham Yatha Shri Dashame. Atati Yat Bhavan Ahanikananam Truti Yugayate Tvama Pasyatam Kutila Kuntalam Shri Mukam Chate Jada Udikshatam Pakshma Kritrasham. Krishna is surrounded by devotees with intense prema. Premna Priyadikam. Krishna is surrounded by premi devotees. Then 10th canto. This is from the Ras Panchak Adhyay, the Gopi Geet. When you go off to the forest during the day, atati yad bhavan ahani kananam. A tiny fraction of a second becomes like a millennium for us. Tuti yugayate, because we cannot see you. Tvam apashyatam. And even when you eagerly look upon, even when we can eagerly look upon your beautiful face, Sri Mukam Chate, you lovely, so lovely with its adornment of curly locks, Kutila Kuntalam, our pleasure is hindered by our eyelids, Pakshmakrit Risham, which were fashioned by the foolish creator, Jada Udikshitam. So this is a very beautiful player. So these devotees have so much prema for the Lord that when Krishna goes to the forest, they feel a moment to be a yuga. And when they're seeing Krishna's beautiful face, the eyelids close, and they're cursing the creator here. Okay, let's take the commentary of Jiva Goswami. This example shows the great love of the devotees by showing their hankering, which is not seen anywhere else. Aho bhagyam nanda gropa vrajokasam yanmitram paramanandam purnam brahma sanatanam. How greatly fortunate are Nand Maharaj, Aho Bhagyam Nandam, the cowherdmen and all the other inhabitants of Rajmuni. Aho Bhagyam Gopa Vrajokasam. There is no limit to their good fortune because the absolute truth, the source of transcendental bliss, Paramanandam, the eternal supreme Brahman, Purnam Brahma Sanatanam, has become their friend, Yanmitram. The following special position of Krishna's devotees should be also noted. Somehow, I think. Nemam virincho na bhavo na shrirapya anga samshaya prasadam lebere gopi yattat prapya vimuktidat. Neither Lord Brahma, Nemam Virancho, nor Lord Shiva, na Bhavo, nor even the goddess of fortune, na Shrirapya, who is always the better half of the Supreme Lord, Anga Samshaya, can obtain from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the deliverer from this material world, Prapya Vimuktidat, such mercy, Tat Prasadam, as received by Mother Yashoda, Leberi Gopi Yat. So this is from Damodar Leela, that out of pure prema, Vatsala prema, Mother Yashoda bound Krishna. And this fortune, neither Brahma, nor Shiva, nor Lakshmi, who's the wife of Narayan, can obtain what Mother Yashoda, because of her deep prema, Mother Yashoda's deep prema. Further, one more verse is quoted by Jiva Goswami in his commentary. Ittam satam brahma sukyanubhatya dasam gatanam paradevatena maya shitanam naradarakena sakam vijjuh kritapunya punja. Here is the Supreme Person who is considered the impersonal Brahman by the great sages. Ittam satam brahma sukyanubhatya. The Supreme Personality of Godhead by devotees, Dasyam Gatanam Paradevatan, and a product of material nature by the ordinary man, Maya Shritanam Naradarakena. Now these boys who have performed many pious activities in their past lives, Krita Punya Punja, are playing with that Supreme Personality of God. Sakyam Vicharu. They are playing with them. Okay. Further, the next quotation by Jiva Goswami. The gopis received benedictions from the Lord. No Nitanga Rate Prasad, that neither Lakshmi Devi, Nayam Shivanga, nor the most beautiful dancers in the heavenly planets could attain. Swarga Yoshitam Nalina Gandha Rucham Kuto Anyam. In the Rasa dance, Rasotsave, the Lord showed his favor to the most fortunate gopis by placing his arms on their shoulders and dancing with each of them individually. Asya Bhuja Danda Grihita Kanta. No one can compare with the gopis who received the causeless mercy of the Lord. Labdya Shisham Yad Udagat Vraja Sundarinam. So because they had prema for the Lord so much, that's why they achieved this famous. So the extraordinary Prem Madhurya, the gopis in Vrindavan, everyone has prema. The friends of Krishna in Sakyaras, the servants of Krishna in Dasaras, the parents of Krishna, the elderly gopas or gopis, elderly, have Vatsalya prema, and the Madhurya devotees, the gopis, who have the highest prema. So the prema is very unique of his devotees to Vrindavan Krishna. So this is unique quality of Krishna. Okay, Krishna is surrounded by loving devotees. I think the same explanation is that when we speak of Krishna, Krishna is not alone. Krishna means his name, his qualities, his fame, his friends, his paraphernalia, his entourage, and all these are included. When we speak of a king, it is to be understood that he is surrounded by ministers, secretaries, military commanders, and many other people. Similarly, Krishna is not impersonal. In his Vrindavan Leela, especially, he is surrounded by the gopis, the cowherd boys, his father, his mother, and all the inhabitants of Vrindavan. In the 10th canto, 31st chapter, verse 15 of Srimad Bhagavatam, the gopis lament, My dear Krishna, during the daytime when you go out into the forest of Vrindavan with your cows, we consider a moment to be 12 years and it is very difficult for us to pass the time. Atati ad bhavan. And again, when you come back at the end of the day, by seeing your beautiful face, we are so much attracted that we are unable to stop looking upon you constantly. At these times, when there is an occasional blinking of our eyelids, we condemn the Creator, Lord Brahma, as a dunce because he does not know how to make perfect eyes. I don't know the meaning of this. I'll have to check out. In other words, the gopis were disturbed by the blinking of their eyes because for the moment that their eyes were closed, they could not see Krishna. This means that the gopis' love for Krishna was so great and ecstatic that they were disturbed by even his momentary absence. And when they saw Krishna, they were also disturbed. This is the paradox. So the Prabhupada is giving a further explanation. Okay, there is another scriptural quotation, Yatava. Brahmaratri tatrer apyaga shatro sa shanardavat agat tava sange ha shanardam api vallavi kanam brahmaratri tattivat virhe bhut. Killer of Agashatru, in your association, Tavasangi, the night of Brahma has passed like Brahma Ratrim Tatterapi, half a moment for the cowherd woman. Sir, Shanardavat Agat. Now in separation for you, Tativat Virahe Abut, half a moment has become as long as Shanardamapi, Brahma's night. Brahma Ratrim for them. Vallavi Kanam. So this is how the gopis feel separation from the Lord. During the Ras Leela, which was only for one night, it was for that entire night of Brahma. And after that pastime was over, Krishna sent them back to their homes. Then moment of separation was like a entire again night of Brahma for them. Okay, let's see the purport of J. Goswami. According to some people, this verse is an explanation of the verse starting from Brahmaratre Upavrite, describing the end of the Ras Leela. Brahmaratre Upavrite Vasudeva Anumodita Anichanto Yayur Hopya Swagrahan Bhagavat Priya. After an entire night of Brahma had passed, Brahmaratre Upavrite, Lord Krishna advised the gopis to return their homes. Vasudeva Anumodita. Although they did not wish to do so, Anichanto Yayur, the Lord's beloved consort, complied with his command. Gopaya Swagrahan Bhagavat Priya. Sridhar Swami agrees with this statement in his commentary on Kamardita Shashankas cha sa gano vismito bhavet. Other statements of Bhagavatam are not contradictory. So this is from the Ras Leela part. Further, for example, it is said, Dear Uddhava, Anga, all of those nights that the gopis spent, tasyata shapa preshta atmanena nita, with me, they are most dearly beloved, Mayeva, in the land of Vrindavan, Vrindavan Gochare, seem to them to pass in less than a moment. Shanartavat, bereft of my association, Heenamaya, however, the gopis felt that those same nights dragged on forever. Taha punartasam, as if each night were equal to a day of Brahma. Kalpasama bahubhuva. So there is another scriptural quotation, 11, 12, 11, to establish that yes, it is from the pastime of the Ras Leela only. Although this verse uh, is spoken, this is a quotation of Rupa Goswami given in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 212. In the commentary, it is explained that it is from the last Leela. Sridhar Swami also affirms that. And ultimately, there is Uddhav Gita quotation spoken by Uddhava, and that also affirms it. Okay, so we will just take Prabhupada's explanation on this. One gopi expressing herself to Krishna says, when we meet you at night, we consider the duration of night to be very small. And why speak of only this night? Even if we had a night of Brahma, we would consider it a very short time. We get an idea of Brahma's day from the following statement of Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada is expanding in his summary study, detailed explanation, Sahasrayuga Paryantam. The gopis said that even if they could not have that duration of night, it would still not be sufficient for their meeting with Krishna. So that is Prabhupada's explanation. It is brief. He doesn't go into the elaborate explanation from Vishwanath Chakravarti's commentary. So this is the 63rd quality, that is Venu Madhurya. But before that, are there any questions up till now what we discussed these two qualities? Any questions, any clarifications? Yes, Birendra Yadav Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I'm just contemplating when gopis were so attached to Krishna, then when Krishna departed to Mathura and he practically did not return, how this gopis survived after that?
So that is a very deep question, and I cannot penetrate so deep into that. So it's beyond my understanding. But there is explanation in the Bhagavad. You have to hear from very advanced souls. Hare Krishna.
Right.
Sudhanshu Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, my question is from the earlier part of the previous class.
Just a minute, hold on.
It is told
Just
that,
a minute. Just a minute, hold on. But just to give a hint and idea of any material experience in this world, it's not material, but the experience is that that when you have deep prema for the spiritual master, which is the same as for the Lord, Yasya Deva Parabhakti Yata Deva Tata Guru. When you have this kind of deep prema, when the spiritual master leaves, the separation is unbearable for the disciple and the disciple leaves the body. That means you understand that the fire of separation is so much burning that, it is unable to tolerate. So that's why they give up the body. They cannot live in that body. So that what happened to Mahaprabhu's associates also. Many of the Mahaprabhu associates, when Mahaprabhu left, they could not bear the separation from Mahaprabhu, and that's why they left one after another immediately. Only few stayed, and they stayed, especially Rupa and Sanatan, because to execute the mission of the Lord. But the gopis also were able to sustain, and there's no question of leaving their bodies because their bodies are completely spiritual. Just because Krishna wanted them to show to the world that what is, prema mean? What does prema mean? So maybe that is the reason. Okay. Yes, Sudhanshu Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, in earlier part of today's class, it's told that Lord Ramachandra and Narsingh, they could not award liberation to their enemies. But
Yes,
as far and Krishna awarded, but as far as we know that this is the Jai Vijay case, Jai Vijay were there and they were the Lord's Parsad. So they were cursed like that. They will take three births
correct.
into this
And
planet.
that's why even in the pastimes, they manifested, that's why their forms which were manifested were killed by other avatars and not by Krishna. So in general, it is mentioned in that commentary we saw that Narayan can give goals like Swarga. So that's what is mentioned, and or opulence like Swarga. So that was what was mentioned. Liberation only Krishna can give, and bhakti or prema in some special cases. So that is the unique quality of Krishna.
Okay, Prabhu. Because as far as this is concerned, then Krishna comes once in matlab, whole day of Brahma, and there's so
Yes,
many times enemies. Then there are so many enemies are killed by other avatars also.
yes.
So in
And
that
you
case,
see, even who is Dveda? Dvida was present in Ram's pastime.
Lord Ramachandra's case. Yes,
Yeah, uh, became very powerful.
yes.
Survived.
He became anti later. Earlier he was towards favorable toward he was devotee because he was in the
And
monkey
who
in
is
the
Kalnemi? He was killed by Vishnu, na?
yes,
He came as Kamsa.
yes.
Mm. So there are many scriptural proofs for that. So this is very clearly substantiated by Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu here also, and even in the Eastern Division. That you have to have a clear understanding. And Rupa Goswami again goes into very elaborate analysis in his Laghu Bhagavatamrita also. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So yeah, last one more question. Yes, Priya Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, am I audible?
Yes.
So liberation, what I understood from your explanation is being free, like four Kumaras being free from all the desires and they had no material
No, no,
desires, liberation. Now,
no. That Atma Rama Gun Akarshati. There, the four Kumaras was mentioned. But uh, for Krishna, whom he kills the demons, for him he gives liberation. So these are two different qualities
yes,
which were
yes,
discussed.
okay. There was one slide earlier you had showed where liberation is in middle of the ocean. The ocean is, you know.
Yes, yes.
So liberation also means, yeah, yeah. So liberation, I'm talking in that term. In general, I want to understand because liberation means to be situated in your original constitutional position. Rupena avasthita. So,
No,
yeah.
no. You see, liberation, that is the highest definition to be situated in a spiritual swarupa. But mukti is the soul neither has a spiritual body nor a material body. It is in between that he's just merged in the impersonal Brahman. He neither has spiritual impetus nor material impetus. No spiritual impressions, no material impressions. So once we get liberated from the entanglement of the gross and subtle bodies, there is a further development of the soul of developing the spiritual body and spiritual senses by which you can do service. But liberation For the Gyanis is the merging into the impersonal Brahman, where there is neither spiritual body nor material body. So that's in between. That's why it is, that diagram was shown. Is it clear?
Yes, I understood the previous part. Can you repeat the latter part for the, yeah, the last part you can repeat what if you can.
Yeah. The
So,
Gyanis, they their Swarupa as the soul they realize, but the spiritual body or the spiritual senses don't get developed, and a spiritual body by which they can serve, because that is not their aspiration. So that's why they merge in the impersonal Brahman, and neither they have material bodies nor spiritual bodies. It's in between somewhere, you can say.
okay, yeah, now it's clear. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. So tomorrow we will finish these two qualities, and then we'll go into the next part of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Vibhav. We are in the Vibhav discussion, please remember. We've completed a major portion of the discussion of Vibhav now. Now further, I also don't recollect, let me see. I think it will be discussion of the Ashray Alamban. Vishaya Alamban is discussed, 64 qualities. Now Ashray Alamban, Rup Goswami will start analyzing that. So that will start tomorrow, okay, after discussing these two qualities. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu ki Jai. Hare Krishna.